So we all know in 2024 the dating scene kind of sucks. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that men no longer court women. Men no longer pursue women the way they used to. Think about The Notebook. Think about the way that Noah pursued Allie from the second he saw her. That literally doesn't happen anymore. Maybe like 5% of the time.
I mean, yeah, because crazy women, I'm not saying that you're one of them, or the men losing their jobs because, I don't know, the women said that they, I don't know, did some crazy dumb stuff, they assaulted her or something or whatever, while the man was actually some random dude who found some random chick and he just wanted to approach her. And especially younger people watching all of this, me included, people get scared. People get freaking scared to approach. I live in the Balkans. I live in Eastern Europe. And what you guys in the West, the US, Canada, Western Europe, blah, 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 everything that you guys are doing, that affects us here as well. Okay? I know of a lot of friends my age or younger or a little bit older. I'm 23, by the way. They are too freaking scared to approach a girl. Like, yeah, it happens. I approach a girl. But it rarely happens that a girl actually does this crazy stuff. She either rejects or accepts. That's it. When you're used to seeing all these crazy girls doing this crazy stuff, talking dumb stuff, criticizing men that they did X, Y, Z, but they actually didn't do anything crazy, well, people get scared. And that's why younger men are actually scared for their lives because they actually might lose their job or whatever because of crazy women, and that's why they're scared. That's it. Or they're just worried, or they just don't mind. That's it. There's probably a lot more reasons to it, but this is one of the main reasons I can think of right now. Let's continue with the video.
So these are my theories as to why the dating scene is like that. First of all, I think that the music we've listened to growing up has really affected this. I think that rap music has had such a negative impact on men and on the dating scene, because if you listen to rap music and you listen to the way that these guys refer to women, they basically just talk about them like they're objects for sex, and they're really not useful for anything else. Like there's literally zero respect for women in these songs. The second thing is pornography, and unfortunately a lot of boys get exposed to this at such a young age, and it drastically affects the way their brains view women.
So for the first point, I don't know, really? Like, my parents grew up watching action cartoons. I grew up watching action cartoons. I grew up actually watching crazy people that aren't from the Balkans won't understand this, but there were crazy adult with a lot of shootings and a lot of other crazy stuff. Turkish series on the TVs when I was a kid all the time, and I used to watch them. And do they influence some stuff? Yeah, but I don't think movies or rap or whatever influences people to that extent. I don't know, man. I don't think the average person, the average young man, doesn't approach a woman just because he heard a random dude rapping that women are objects and sex toys. And no, that's not it. I surely hope that's not reality. But the second thing that she mentioned, corn, I can see it. I can see it. People socializing way less, going out way less, and are actually scared to interact with people. I've seen it. I've seen it with men, and I've seen it with women as well. But it's especially noticeable in young men, because me as a 23-year-old, I've been noticing it in a lot of my cousins, my friends. They're freaking scared to approach women. I'm like, what the hell, why? And yeah, I know a lot of them probably watch corn and they satisfy their sexual needs, blah, blah, blah. And yes, she just mentioned the rappers portray women as sexual objects, whatever, blah, blah, and this is what I'm saying right now. What I'm saying is, rap, I don't think so, but corn probably contributes to this, but it's also way more other stuff, like people socializing less, seeing women on this high pedestal of holy freaking shit, how am I supposed to get this girl? Listen. For a man watching this video that is scared to approach a woman, think about it like this. She's just a random human being, just like you are. and she's nothing special. Just like you aren't anything special. I know your mom told you you're special and you're whatever, okay? You're not, okay? You're just an everyday bro like I am, like everyone else is, okay? Chill the freak out, okay? Tell mom to chill out. Jokes aside, when you see a girl and you want to approach her, try and think of it as you're approaching a random dude to ask him a question about, I don't know, where you should go because, I don't know, you're maybe traveling and you're abroad or whatever. See it that way. And don't expect outcomes. Expecting outcomes is a crazy red flag. I should word it differently. Not red flag, but actually it hinders you. It makes you less possible. It makes you less willing to actually approach the girl and actually, you know, spark a conversation. You don't need to be special. You don't need some crazy pickup lines. Just freaking talk to the woman like she's a normal human being. Because she's just a normal human being. Let's continue with what the girl has to say.
It basically teaches them to unwillingly sexualize everything and every woman that they come across, basically just viewing them as objects for sex instead of as actual human beings. It also makes it harder for them to be in a committed relationship because they're used to seeing different girls every single time they watch this. They lose appreciation for a woman's body and just for her as a human being because they have such easy access to naked women. They don't need to court women in order to see these things, so they stop courting women in real life too. And it's the exact same thing when these guys are viewing girls on social media, and it also impacts the way they view women in real life who are just raw, unedited, real, natural human beings, because now their brains are so trained into thinking that that's not what attractive women look like. They think that...
I agree. She is on point. Social media and people interacting less with other people and being so concerned about looking bad is a big, huge freaking reason why, you know, men are scared, young men especially, are scared to approach women. But let me get back to my first point. One of the biggest hurdles, and especially in the West, that I've been noticing, and I've got friends from the West and they're telling me this, before making this video, I asked a few of them. They said the same thing that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Do you remember that girl that said this crazy stuff about this guy and he just approached her? Also, if you're a below average attractive man and you approach a woman, you are automatically a creep, okay? The amount of times I've approached a woman, especially when I was a teen, well, I approached another teen girl, obviously, but I'm 23 now. Even when I approached a woman when I was 20, a lot of the times I was labeled as a creep, or no, it wasn't a lot of times, I should be honest, but there were a few times. I used to live in a small town, so before I moved out when I was 19, and when I would approach a girl, 99% of the time it was a fail, obviously. I mean, I'm still kind of disgusting and below average at best, but back then, and immediately everyone would find out, the whole school, or high school, elementary, whatever, and people would just make fun of me. So that stupid mentality was there all the freaking time. And when social media became more and more of a normal everyday thing in life, now people are even more scared to, now young men are even more scared to approach women. That's it. And also, as you said, corn as well. Corn messes young guys' brains. Like, you can look up the science behind it, you can watch videos on it. I'm not gonna make freaking videos on it, I don't care that much. She is 100% right here.
Women are supposed to look like what they see in corn and on social media, when all of that is fake. Women giving it up way too easy. Why would a man court you and try hard to win you over when he can just buy you a drink at the bar and then get in your pants? Just as much as men are not courting women, we are also enabling them.
It has come to my attention that men do not want to approach women anymore. I don't know when this happened, but this is the reality of the situation. And I also realized that nobody wants to be on dating apps anymore.
From what I've seen, dating apps, they're just all for hooking up. I mean, I live in Eastern Europe, Southeastern Europe, and dating apps aren't as popular here, period. But the people that actually use dating apps, and I've been on dating apps, try to find an actual serious partner. You're not finding a serious partner on Tinder, trust me. Especially not here. All you'll find is friends with benefits and freaking hookups. If that was what I was searching for, I used to want that stuff all the time, but now I'm kind of bored of it. But yeah, dating apps, not the place to be if you want to find a serious relationship, okay?
Feral girl summer. Like, I feel like we are finally gonna connect with one another, and we are finally gonna get off the apps, and we are finally gonna flirt with one another. However, we have an issue at hand. Men don't want to approach women at bars. So it's like, how do we start conversation? Luckily, one of my favorite gifts in life is asking weird questions to people. So I started taking myself out to bars. I'm going out with girlfriends and I'm trying to make conversation with guys at bars.
Bless this woman, okay? I'm not gonna react to any more TikToks or Reels or whatever. You get the gist, you get the point. There's actual women complaining. And if you're a man watching this, please, if you see a girl that she's giving you the eye or giving you signs, if you can actually read those crazy freaking signs, if you can read those signs and you can guess maybe she's into you, you've looked at her, she's looked at you multiple times, please approach her. Before you approach her, just have this mentality, I don't freaking care about the outcome. I'm just here to have fun. And trust me, most of the time, that's gonna work in your favor way more. And yeah, all the self-improvement stuff, working out and having money. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that, okay? You can still approach women. Trust me, the amount of dudes I've seen on the streets, bars, whatever, below attractive dudes, not rich at all, with very above average attractive women, okay? It's way more in your head, trust me, it is. You can also fail if you start a business, but will you ever be successful in a business if you actually start and try and fail and try and fail and try? You won't, right? You actually gotta start and fail. Same with this, okay? So don't be freaking wusses and please approach women. But also, what this woman also said, well, woman, you can help all these men out. Maybe you a freaking approach. There's so many women watching this right now like, who am I? I'm not the masculine role. Go F yourself. You're supposed to approach me. Okay, I get it. But for the actual woman with at least one brain cell in her brain, if you know any ways, like this girl said, asking weird questions or, I don't know, trying to approach yourself as well, maybe, why not? Try it. I don't freaking know. So yeah, that's basically it. Interesting video. Wanted to cover it. You can find a lot of women on TikTok and Instagram talking about this. Just search it on the search bar and you'll find a lot of results. And maybe it'll give you a little bit of hope and a little bit of oomph to actually approach a girl if you're a man watching this. Yeah, that's basically it. Have a nice day.